Hey, hi everyone. Good morning. So I will wait for 10:10. Okay. So let's everyone join. So today's agenda is today we are going to take the class on the Git. So Git, how to register and how to install in our system. So so let's wait to join everyone. I think how many members have joined till now? Okay, I will wait for more 5 minutes. Okay. Then I will start the class. Hi. Okay, let's start the class. I hope everyone was joined. Okay. Now today's class is about Git and a GitHub, and what is the GitHub, and what is Git, and how we installed, and what why we use the Git and GitHubs. Okay. So the major problem or solution for the GitHub is like, so it's all the major problem for the version control, and we also call the Git as a version control system. So before going into that, let me give one like a problem. Like we are all writing our college project, right? In When we are creating our documents, so we might create first one document like a project doc, and we have some modifications, then we modify that. Okay, so but before, what is the first file we don't know. Okay, so then we always edit the edit that file. Now if you want to go to our first file, like what the real file which we have created, it is difficult in our Microsoft Word. Okay, so this is what the version control solves the problem. Like in our GitHub, when we save our code, we can roll back to where we have started. Okay, so this is one of the solutions in our GitHub. And also it's Git is like a tool to solve the this problem. So it always keeps the tracks of changes in our files. So it also saves who committed that and who changes the file. Okay, and you can also go back to your older versions at any time. And also we can, at the same time, we can work on the same file. Like different peoples, many people can work on the same project together. Okay, and we have another problem also, like when we are developing in a project. Okay, so one of fellow person will works on front end, and like we have a three students. Okay, imagine like a three students, and one student works on the front end, and one student work on the back end, and one another, he works on the database. Okay, so without Git, they will overwrite each other files. Okay, when he editing that file, okay, front end and the back end persons, so whatever, when he saves the back end person, the front end guy code will be override. So with Git, each person works on their own branch. In the Git we have the branches, so for every persons we create their own branch, and later, after completion of all the work, okay, so we will completely merge those branches into one main branch. So this is also one of the major problem it solves, the Git will solve. So, and also like a problem of a safety and the backup. See, whatever the project we have done and we saved in our laptop. Okay, imagine like that, we have completed our project and finalized the document, and we saved it in our laptop. So if our laptop crashes the day before our submissions, okay, so the data will be gone. But when we use the GitHub, like online platform, okay, your project is saved on the cloud, so you can log in any system and download whatever the work you have completed. So this is how the Git and GitHub will be useful in your version controls and security and everything. It solves every problem of our projects. And here I'm keep on repeating like a Git and GitHub, right? So we have the Git and GitHub is nothing but, see, Git is a software installed in our computer, okay, to track our versions. But GitHub is an online website where you can store your GitHub projects online. So let me go to the GitHub first. Okay, this is the GitHub website. So you need to go to the GitHub, like one second. I'm sharing. Yeah, yeah. So think of Git, like Git is nothing but it will be installed in your computer, but GitHub is in a website where we can store your Git projects online. So there is a difference, is not difference in real life. Think it as like Git is your personal diary, okay, and the GitHub is a library of where you keep copies of the diary in the online, so everyone can use it. So first, before going into that, let me, so we need to register in our GitHub, and then we can install it in our system and set up our GitHub. Okay, so how to register? So just go to the GitHub in the Chrome, and we will get one link like GitHub build and ship software. Okay, so click on the first link, and here we have right sign in and sign up. Okay, so here you need to sign up. Just click on sign up. So it will ask you personal details like email and password. Okay, you need to give the password and the username and the country. So let me give the email now. 1 second. Give the password. You can give the username. The list of password only the website. Okay. Let me give another password like. Okay, and give the username, whatever the username you want to give. Okay, to display. Okay, let me give as hello development team and countries. They may only contain alpha numeric. Okay. Okay, simply click on create account, and you need to verify your account. Verification is completed. And 1 second, where is my this is not, I think so. Okay, you need to verify the link. Okay, CEO we have the code 630 896 and continue. Okay. Okay, so 6 7. Okay, here we need to do 6 6 7. 1 second, guys. 6 7 0 8 9 8 9 6. Okay. So now, after your account was created and successfully verified, you need to log in. Okay, just log in with your details, like whatever you have given in the registration time. You need to give that details. Okay, so this is your GitHub account. So here we have like our dashboard, and here see you have your profile. Okay, this is your username. FratelloInnoTech is my username, and for in your case you will get whatever the username you have given in your time of registration. So this is how we need to register in our GitHub. So first I will repeat again. See, go to the GitHub link. Just type it in the GitHub link. Okay, click on the first link, like here we have github.com. So click on that. Okay, so it's directly taking my account. So it's so in your case it will show you like sign up, and let me log out then. Okay, see, it will appear like this. Okay, so here in the sign up we'll go here and we'll give all the credentials. Okay, so basically this is in a GitHub. This is GitHub registrations, and after registration we will sign it. And I also explained you about like Git, right? So Git is a distributed version control system. So that means it keep track of changes in the files, and especially in the source codes, and allow multiple peoples to work on the same project at the same time. So this is what actually Git, and this is how we have to register first in our GitHub. Okay, I already explained to you like why we need a Git. Okay, so like when we are working on the same project with multiple team members, okay, so it will be little bit confusing and it will be difficult to who changes the code in our project. Okay, it will track all the versions and all the source codes who committed and everything. Okay, so we can go back to any versions to any time, and multiple people can work on the same project. So it will overwrite each other's works. So for every user we will create one branch for it. Okay, I will go that branch in the next classes. Okay, so we can collaborate online using, this is an online version of the GitHub. Okay, so then we need to install the Git in our local system also. So before we can use a Git, we must register ourselves with a Git. So we need to register here in our GitHub. So when you want to use the Git in your system, you need to first register. So that's the reason we need to come to the GitHub link and we need to register here. So if you want to run your GitHubs locally, then first you need to register. So here we need a central place to store our code. So here in the GitHub, our whatever the code we have written, it will be stored in our cloud. So first we need to go to the GitHub link and click on the sign up. Then we need to enter all the usernames, email, password, and country region. And when you click on the create account, it will send you the verification email with the code. Then by verifying your email, now you have your GitHub account, so where you can create a repositories and collaboratives and contribute to the projects. So here, okay, here I have, right, this is my GitHub account. See here it's showing me the repositories, right? So repositories, so here we can create my own repository. So whatever the repositories we have, I can create the own my repository. So if I am developing one project, okay, I will create one repo for that project. So in that repo, in the main branch, okay, I have to clone that repo, and I have to create a separate branch for each member. So after creating everything, we will commit. Okay, we have like git initiate. We can also create the branch like a repo in our command line also. So git init, git status, git add. So these are all the commands we use in the commit in the git. So those commands and it will I will explain in the next slides in the Monday. So now we have complete register our GitHub account. Now go to another tab, new tab, and install the git in your local system. So now I need to install the git in our local system. So first we need to download and install the GitHub from, we have git scm.com. Okay, download. See here we have git scm.com download. So go to the first link. Okay, here we have, right? Okay, go to the first link and click. Okay, based on your operating system, you can click on Mac or Windows or Linux. If you are using Linux, you can select the Linux, or if you are using Windows, so most of the users use Windows, so I am just downloading the 2.51 version. So simply click on the downloads for Windows and select your operating system based on 32 or I'm 64. Okay, I'm just selecting it for Windows 64 and let me save it on my desktop. Okay, so simply click on download. Okay, open git/scm.com. There you will get the first link and click on that link and select operating system, whatever you're using, Windows, Linux, or Mac OS. Okay, and select the version and click the download button. Okay, after completing, go to that file. Okay, it's that file. Okay, I have Git 2.15 version. So double tap, so it will start installation. Okay, here we have, right, just give the permission yes and install. In my system I have previous version, so it's just removing first, but in your case it will directly extract the files. Okay, it will start installation. Finish. I think in your case you will get more commands. Okay, so just simply click on next, next, next. Okay, if not let me 1 second. This one. Okay, let me do it again. Okay, I'm just saving it programming first. That is a path. Okay, it will asking every details. Just simply click on the next button and next. And here also you need to click on next. Okay, this asking, see, let Git use its default branch name currently master for initiate branch in a newly created repositories. So it's saying as when you create a new repository, okay, it will use it as a master. So let Git decide, or if you want to create your own branches like whatever the main branch, you can just simply give it here override and you can give the name for that. Okay, so I'm just giving the let Git decide for the main branch and I'm just git from command line next and this is next. Just simply click on the next buttons, next, and this is the rebase and everything will cover in the Monday class. Okay, and I think next, next, and next, and it will completely install in your system now. Wait till it install. Once installed, we need to tell we need to give all the user who we are. Okay, after successfully installation, see here we are now getting in the previous where I just overridden my previous version, it directly shown this view release notes, but now I gone through each step of our setup in the installations. So after just clicking just finish it and just close that. Okay, now go to the command line okay, just open your command line. Okay, now check whether the git was installed in your system or not. Okay, so for that we need to give the git hyphen hyphen version to check the version, to check whether the git is downloaded in your local system or not. So give the git hyphen hyphen version and click enter. Okay, now it's showing as git version 2.51.0 Windows was installed successfully. So this has to be shown in your systems also after completion of your GitHub download and installation process. So once installation is completed, so we need to tell who we are. Okay, so this is important because Git keeps the tracks of who made the changes, so which made. So we have to run different commands to set our details, like we have already registered in our GitHub, right? So we need to give the details. Let me give command as global username. What I given my username? Let me check once again. My username is, I think it's, one second. Dev team. So my username is this, right? So let me give my username here in the command line and git config hyphen hyphen. You need to set your parameters. Okay, you need to give your username and email address to your local git so that it will configure as a user. Okay, so which user is in which user PC was app. Okay, user dot email. So you need to give your email. So what is my email? Dev team 25, I think so. Gmail.com. Okay, so this setups our name and email globally. So for every commit we make, will now show this identity. Okay, so when we created a new file and when we make a changes, so at the changes it will show you your name and your email ID what we have set it. Okay, here we configured our name, username and our files, right? So let me share you this commands also. Okay, git command and your username. So here you need to give your email. So let me share it in the chat. So in the place of username and here you need to, sorry for this, I think I need to change, edit it. This is not the user dot name here. Okay, and here this is an email, so you need to give your registered email. So these are the both two commands, so we need to use it when you are configuration your git in your local system. Okay, first you need to check whether the git was installed successfully in your system or not by using the git hyphen hyphen version. Okay, let me share this command also. Okay, so git hyphen hyphen version will give you whether the git is installed successfully in your system or not. Okay, after installation is completed, okay, you need to configure yourself in your local system by giving the commands git config global hyphen hyphen global and your username. So whatever the username you have given at the time of registration, you need to give that name. Okay, your name, and you need to After the configuration your name, you need to configure your email also. Okay, git config global user dot email. So you need to give your email now. So you can also verify it by giving the command like git config, okay, hyphen list. Okay, it will give you the configuration list. See here, we have username fratello and user dot email, we have dev team. Okay, so the default branch was a master. Okay, so this is how we create git in our local system. Okay, so we already first we created the github account by using the github sign up and everything, and we install the git in our local system. Okay, in our command line. So we install, after the installation we verified and we configured successfully. So git works in our locally before connecting it to the github. So this is work we are doing in our local system. Okay, so the git workflow has a three areas now presently. So working directly, so where we edit our files, and staging area means we have different workflow here. So working directly we use mostly, so where we are editing our files, and staging area where we mark files that are ready to be committed, and repository, so where the final history of the project is stored. Okay, so for this we use some commands like to create a new repository, we use git init. Okay, and git status to check the files are being tracked, and git add, so the add files will do like staging, and we use a git commit finally is to commit or to save the changes to our repository. So uh, I think to create all the repo. So first we need to complete all these installations in our local system. So then we will start creating the new repo files. Okay. So if anybody have any doubts regarding the installation, so just please ping me in the chat box. I will clarify your doubts. So if you face any issues in the installations or a registration. Everybody done with your installations of this or a registration? Okay. Okay, if you have any doubts, anybody, you can just ping me. I am here. I'll wait for 10 minutes. Okay. So let complete the registration first, and then install the Git in your local system. So then only we can do all our configurations, and we can create our repos, and we can create the files, and we can send our files to the GitHub, and it will store the GitHub files in the GitHub cloud. Okay, we will check with that everything. So first we need to complete our registration, and installation in our system. Through the commands, we can create our repository by directly using our user interface in our GitHub. Also we can create the repository. Okay, so see here in the repositories we have the new, right? So here simply click on the new, and here we can give the repository name and a description, and these are all the configurations. Okay, so you can also choose a visibility here like public private. Okay, so if you want to save your files in the private section, it will be private. Okay, uh, and you can give the permissions and the readme files. Okay, it will give you the readme file automatically, and git ignore and license and everything. So here we can also use a user interface in our GitHub, or also we can use a command line to make our git repository also. Okay, so once installations and setup is done, let me know through the chat if everyone's installation and setup was done. Please give me done. Okay, I'm assuming everyone was done with installation and registration. Okay, so okay, let me explain one thing. Okay, see, if you want any projects, or if you want any related code are you working, like if you want to make a resume, digital resume, okay, and someone was worked on that and they have saved their code in the GitHub, okay, and they store that in the public files. Okay, let me go to that. So I want to download that from the Git. Okay, someone's code was there, so I need to download that and clone in my system. So how I can do, let me show you, like a resume maker by using Django. Okay, GitHub, just click on this and see here it's showing me the GitHub, okay, and Django based resume builder. So this is a someone's make repo, okay, someone, here we have Muhammad, right? So he created that repo and stored in the GitHub as a public. So public, as a public, it was used, okay, we can use that by anyone. So how we can clone this? So here we clone this code into our local system. Okay, so to clone this local Django resume builder repo, here we have the code, right? So just click on that. Here we have different methods: HTTPS, SSH, GitHub CLI command. Okay, so here by using this command line also you can clone to your local. Okay, and by using HTTPS also we can clone, and we also have a another option called as a download zip. Okay, when you use the download zip, okay, that entire code will be downloaded as a zip, and we have to extract that and we can use that code and we can do the modifications. But here we have, see, when we download the zip and we modify it, that code will be modified in your local system itself, but we can't interact with our this local hub, okay, this repo in the repository. Okay, in the GitHub we have the Django resume builder repo, right? We can't interact with this when you use the download zip. But when you clone the repo by using this link in your local system, you can also contribute to this particular repo. Contribution is nothing but if you want to add some more code, okay, and you want to contribute to this repo, okay, when we submit and when we committed to that file, okay, that will be changes by using the permissions like PR request there are. Okay, so there is a difference between two methods, okay, cloning and downloading the zip. So downloading the zip, it will not contribute to this particular repo, but when you clone by using the HTTP links or SSH or GitHub CLI, here you can also contribute. Okay, so this is about the Git clone. So I will show you 1 second, and the Git clone and just copying this, okay, and in your command line, see, go to your command line. Okay, now in the users, rather, let me make one directly here. Okay, I'm just making one directory, so don't confuse. This is just a simple directory, like a new folder in my Radha folder. Okay, and just going into that folder, and I want to clone this Django resume builder code into my local system. So how I can? So here we have one command, okay, git clone. So you need to give the link of that, whichever the branch, okay, whichever the repo you want to clone. This is my repo, and here I have the link here in the git code in the HTTPS. I have this code. I need to copy that, okay, and we can clone that in our project file. Okay, git clone https github, and simply click on enter. Okay, see, it's showing cloning into Django resume builder. Okay, so it was done, it was successfully done. So this is how we have to clone. Okay, if this doesn't work, okay, you can also create your own repo here. You can also create your own repo, and there also you will get one link. So that link you can also clone same just like this. Okay, git clone, and you need to give the link of that. Okay, so see here in my demo project, okay, in my demo project I have the Django resume builder code. Okay, so this is how we have to clone and a project into your local system, and you need to create your own files in that. Okay, you can also commit that. So for all that, creating the new repository and editing the files, creating the new files and submitting to the GitHub, it will be in the next class on the Monday. Okay, so today's class is about the Git and the GitHub and how we have to register, how to install your Git and download installation. After completion of your installation, you can check in the local system whether the Git was installed successfully or not. And if you want to check the version of the Git, you need to use a Git hyphen hyphen version, and you have to configure your username and the email by using git config hyphen global username and email also. Okay, and if you want to check your configuration list, you can also check git config hyphen hyphen list. After that, if you want to clone your project, okay, think like this. Okay, when you are in the office, okay, they are working with the you are newly employee. Okay, there you will they will working on the project, and they will give the link of that project, and here you need to clone by using the command as git clone and the method. Then after, you need to create the branches and everything. So that was we will discuss in the tomorrow's class. I think that's enough for the today's class, like git, github, downloading installations and cloning and everything. Okay, so one second. Users. So here, this is a demo project I created, right? See, here we have the Django resume builder code. Here I have all the code, okay, whatever the stored in the that link. Okay, so in our see here we have, right, see app, resume builder, readme, and these are all everything requirements. See here requirements txt. Here also we have the requirements txt file. Okay, this is a requirement txt file. So here also we can check that. See requirement.txt file. See, these are all the requirements basically for that code. So this is here we can also check that here. See, okay, so in the whatever the code was stored in the cloud, we now install in our local, we have saved in our local system. So this is how we have to clone. Okay, so till now, if you have any doubts regarding anything like registration, setting up, or cloning, or the commands you need, okay, so let me share that command for the clone also. Here you need to give the git clone and the link for that. Okay, HTTP link. Here you need to give the link. Okay, this is a command we use to clone the particular repository. So you can also create your own repo and you can clone to your local system. Okay, that will be explained in the Monday's class. And thank you. If everything clears, that's the class for today. And if you anybody have any doubts regarding anything, I am here. Just ping me in the chat. If no doubts, thank you for class. Okay. Okay. Anybody? Everybody is done, right? If there is no doubt, you guys can drop off from the class. Hello. Okay, guys, that's today's class. You can all drop off. Thank you. We will catch up on the Monday.